Act 3. Scene is a drawing room in Spettigue's house. 3 large French windows opening into the garden. The walls have portraits, old-fashioned, flowers in bowls and cushions and Victorian window curtains. Moonlight streams into the room. Brassett is discovered with taper lighting candles.
There they go. Dinner's pretty well over now, and they'll all be in here pretty soon. Fancy old Spettigue getting me to come here tonight and butler for him. I suppose he's too mean to have a butler of his own. Well, all I can say is, it's simply marvellous the way his lordship's kept it up. He's played the perfect lady. Something wonderful.
Loud laughter and talking is heard off stage.
Hello, what's up now?
Listens as before, then the voices stop.
Anyhow, if the worst comes to the worst, I've got his lordship's dress clothes with me.
Enter Lord Fancourt.
Brassett, get me a fly, quick! I'm going home.
Enter Charley and Jack, who quickly catch Fancourt and bring him struggling back down into the centre.
You've been going along all right if you'd only paid more attention to old Spettigue. Why did you bolt on the dinner table like that?
It's so awfully dangerous and unkind of you, you know?
Instead of behaving in a dignified manner as Charley's aunt, here you are going on like some disgraceful old...
Oh, go on. Finish it. Don't spare me. You can't say I'm drunk anyhow, or if I am, it's for the want of it.
Now look here, Babs, this game won't do.
Think of the girls and the solemn promise you gave to help us, for their sakes.
Yes, but she wasn't here then.
She who?
The little girl.
What little girl?
Miss Delahaye.
What, the girl with Mrs... What's her name? Smythe?
Yes, Miss Butterscotch Smythe's niece.
Charley goes to the window.
Well, what of her?
Why, she's the little girl I met in Monte Carlo, and this Butterscotch woman is the woman who took her away, and I'm off.
Lord Fancourt bolts.
Stop it, Charley, quick!
Charley turns, stops Lord Fancourt, and brings him back down. Charley goes to the door.
You've got us into this deuce of a mess.
Well, of all the beastly, ungrateful things to say.
What difference can it make to you now?
Well, I want to talk to her.
Talk to her? What about?
I want to tell her what you fellas have been telling you old girls. Hang it, I'm just as much in love as you are.
Oh, Jack, we're going to hear everything.
Was there ever such an idiot?
No, never was. Look at me. I'm a disgrace to my sex.
Well, if the worst comes to the worst, we'll take the bull by the horns and be done with him.
You can take the bull by the tail for all I care. And what's more, you can tell those confounded girls of yours to leave pissing off me before her. I won't stand it.
Don't shout, you idiot. We'll make some excuse. Say she's ill, put him in a fly and be done with him.
And Charley, you can make some excuse to Miss Verdun for me.
Miss Verdun? What have you got to say to Miss Verdun? Come on, out with it.
Haven't I promised to get old Spettigue's consent in writing, you idiot? You're as helpless as a couple of babies. You want your mothers with you.
Voices are heard off.
This way, madam.
They're coming.
Here, sit down, quick.
Voices are heard off. The boys sit. Charley to the right of Lord Fancourt, Jack to the left of him. Brassett enters the doors, showing in the ladies. Enter Donna, Lucia, and Ella in full evening dress, carrying long white suede kid gloves. Donna Lucia carries a fan, Ella smelling salts. All 3 men rise, but Charley pushes Lord Fancourt down again. Exit Brassett.
How's your aunt, Mr. Wykham? We were afraid she might be ill.
Yes. Is there anything the matter?
Auntie's been a little upset by the heat of the dining room, that's all.
The heat? I find it rather cold.
Yes, Charley means that. Cold. You see, Donna Lucia's lived so long in a warm climate.
Won't you try Auntie's smelling salts? They're so good.
Thank you. She's often like this, isn't she, Charley?
Jack shoves smelling salt bottle under Lord Fancourt's nose. Lord Fancourt sneezes with violence. Smelling. Enter. Followed. Kitty shuts the door and joins Abel.
I hope Donna Lucia is all right.
Yes, is she?
Oh, yes. Mr. Chesney says she is all right now.
Well, Dybell, go and tell Mr. Spettigue. He's most anxious and leave with us.
Yes, we'll look after her now.
Exit Jack and Charley.
I say, you fellows, don't leave me like this. Is it this position? I wonder what they'll talk about. I hope they'll be careful with me.
Enter Brassett with coffee, cream, and sugar.
I wonder who she really is, Auntie.
Oh, some old thing they got after receiving my telegram.
Coffee to Donna Lucia, which accepts. Ella shakes her head in refusal. Brassett then goes to Kitty and Amy, and each take a cup.
Say something to her, Auntie. I like to hear her talk.
I would, my dear, but look at her. If I thought they intended that to be like me, I'd never forgive them.
Brassett crosses to Donna Lucia and Ella, but they both refuse cream. He goes straight to Kitty and Amy. There is loud laughter off stage.
Oh, hark, the silly fools.
Brassett comes down to Lord Fancourt with coffee. They look at each other and smile.
I say, Brassett, what's the story?
That's just what I expected.
That Don Pedro was very fond of telling?
I must put a stop to this. Won't one of the young ladies play something, please?
How rude of her to interrupt like that.
Oh, she couldn't have heard you, Auntie.
Do tell us, Mrs. Beverley Smythe.
Yes, anything about Don Pedro would be so interesting. Do tell us.
But perhaps Donna Lucia would prefer to tell Don Pedro's story herself.
Tom Pedro?
Your late husband, you know, Don Pedro Delvatore.
Oh, yes, of course. I know his name, but I don't remember his stories. I don't hold with such frivolity. Too bad of those fellows.
Auntie, don't tease her so. Tell the story yourself.
Well, Don Pedro, who was the kindest soul in all the world, but, well, will Donna Lucia give me permission?
Oh, you won't mind Mrs. Beverley Smythe telling the story, will you?
And you'll listen, won't you?
Well, I must.
Well, as I said before, Don Pedro, who was the kindest soul in the world, once found one of his cellarmen tipsy, very tipsy. So, Don Pedro, whom the man did not recognise.
Why, was Don Pedro tipsy?
No, the man, Donna Lucia.
The
man was tipsy.
Don Pedro was, of course, most abstemious. That is what makes the point of the story.
Oh, does it?
So, Don Pedro said to the man, what would Don Pedro say if he saw you like this?
Tipsy? Like this?
Yes.
And what did the man say?
The man said, and that's where it's so funny.
Is that where we laugh?
No.
The man said, oh, that's all right. Don Pedro's often like this.
Tipsy?
Yes.
And we'll accept Lord Fancourt.
Well, all the damn silly story. What was the man's name?
Oh, really? I don't know the man's name.
No, that's a pity.
But don't you remember the story? It was a favourite of one of Don Pedro's.
Oh, perfectly. I shrieked when I first heard it. I say, that reminds me of a very funny story. Won't one of the young ladies play something, please?
Oh, I'm so out of practice. You sing something, Amy.
Oh, I can't. I know nothing new.
Sing that charming little ballad. Ta-da-da, bundy-ay.
I'm afraid I can't, Donna Lucia.
Won't you sing something for us, Donna Lucia?
Me?
Yes, one of those charming little Brazilian songs. I've heard Don Pedro was so fond of them.
Oh, no, I haven't sung since I had measles.
Kitty turns upstage to hide her laughter, and Amy joins her.
What?
Over 40 years ago.
Another libel? I was the merest infant.
But I play a little.
Kitty gets a music stool ready for Lord Fancourt to sit on and remains standing above the piano.
Well, that's a good idea. I shan't have to talk and I can drown their conversation.
He crosses towards the piano.
I hope you've quite recovered from the shock my niece gave you today.
Oh, yes, I was a little upset, wasn't I? I suffer so much from giddiness. Were you ever giddy?
Never.
I was. What shall I play? A little Beethoven or Bluebells of Scotland?
Lord Fancourt plays 5-finger exercise C to G and back, and quickly strikes B twice, 2 octaves higher.
Do you know that?
Then starts to play something softly. Come along, my dear friends, come along!
Here they are. Now don't forget the letter.
No, I won't forget.
Let's get them all out into the garden and leave her alone with Mr. Spettigue.
Enter Spettigue, Sir Francis, Jack and Charley, all in full evening dress, followed by Brassett, also in evening dress. He stands by the door with an empty tray. Ah, charming, charming. Lord Fancourt stops playing, twirls round on stool and almost overbalances. Spettigue saves him from falling. Then Lord Fancourt sits staring at Ella on the sofa. Bring the cigars, Brassett, and list the ladies. Mrs. Beverley Smythe. Donna Lucia, do you object to...
Smoking? Oh, no, I love it. It kills the insects and things.
Sits staring at Ella again. Exit Brassett.
Oh, look at him, Jack.
What's he doing?
He's staring at her like he did all through dinner.
The fool.
Brassett re-enters with cigars, cigar cutters, matches on a salver. He places them on the table. I must make an opportunity to see her alone. It's a sweet evening. Perhaps some of you may care to enjoy a cigar in the garden.
No, thank you, sir.
It's a sweet evening.
You've been enjoying yourselves capitally, Miss Verdun. We've heard the music.
Yes, Donna Lucia has been playing for us.
Oh, how charming of you, Donna Lucia. What should we have done without your dear Aunt Charley?
Don't groan like that, you idiot. Are you fond of music, Mr. Spettigue?
Charley joins Amy. I hope to be. Lord Fancourt puts his hand on top of the piano. Spettigue covers it with his own.
But why? Are you going to take lessons?
Lord Fancourt draws hand away, slaps Spettigue's hand with it. Spettigue goes behind the settee and talks to Donna Lucia in Ella.
What are you looking at me like that for? Like a boiled owl?
Dad, I'm glad you know about Kitty now. She's a splendid girl, isn't she?
Kitty crosses to Lord Fancourt.
I like her very much, I must say, Jack.
You've taken a load off my mind, Dad. I thought I was quite without means.
Not altogether, my boy. And you've thought this matter well over?
Night and day, Dad, ever since I first met her.
It's a serious step, you know. A serious step.
Jack joins Charley.
Now don't forget, in writing.
Kitty
Amy, let's get them all out into the garden. You take Charley.
She goes down to Jack.
I'm glad I told the Dad now.
Sir Francis joins Amy. Spettigue joins Lord Fancourt above the piano. Kitty sits on an ottoman and Jack stands right of her. But why won't you listen to reason?
Of course, I'll listen to reason, but where is the letter?
I remember I've not written it yet.
Not yet?
Swings around on a revolving stool, ending back to the audience. Sir Francis goes to the French window. We must find an opportunity to talk it over alone.
That'll be nice.
Swings back again, ending facing Spettigue. Spettigue and Lord Fancourt continue talking together. Sir Francis crosses, stands behind the piano.
Charley, why are you so depressing? We ought to be very happy today.
Amy, great joys sometimes bring a sort of reaction. I shall be better tomorrow.
I'll come into the garden.
Charley and Amy exit.
I've told the dad blank out and he's delighted. But Kitty, you won't regret turning your back on society and the row and all these
And the stifling hollowness of my own Monday and everybody else's rest of the week, and have something real to think about. Jack, the vista is too heavenly. Come into the garden.
Jack and Kitty go up centre. It's a sweet evening. Perhaps you'd like a cigar, Jack.
No, thank you, sir.
That's a sweet evening. Exit Jack and Kitty.
Shall we join them?
Yes, it's a charity to leave those two people alone.
Indeed. Why?
Oh, only a little matchmaking mischief, that's all.
On Spettige's account?
No, on Donna Lucia's.
Donna, Lucia and Sir Francis exit. Spettigue goes to the window to watch them off. Lord Fancourt rises and hides behind the piano. They've gone. Turns and finds Lord Fancourt gone. Lucia! Spettigue goes towards the door. Lord Fancourt strikes top notes sharply on piano and retires quickly. Spettigue turns. Lord Fancourt bombs up from behind the piano. Ah, there you are! Lucia, how I have longed for this moment.
Oh, he's out again.
Lucia, I must speak to you.
No, I am very angry with you.
Oh, Lucia, you warned me. Don't say that. That's what
But I do say, after the promise you made me to treat me like this,
promise.
the consent that you promised in writing.
Lucia, how can you when we have so much to say that more nearly concerns ourselves?
No, we have not. You don't know me. I'm no ordinary woman.
Lucia, I beg of you to listen to me.
I'll listen to you with pleasure, but where is the letter you promised me?
Will you hear me, Lucia?
I'll hear you with pleasure, but why don't you give me the letter?
Lucia, do I deserve this?
He deserves 6 months, the old idiot.
Lucia, you are a puzzle, an enigma.
How dare you? Until you give me the letter, all is over between us.
Lucia, that decides me. I go to my room. A priest.
With full consent signed, don't forget.
And say you will be mine.
I'll say anything you like, only don't be too long in the study.
Ah, darling! Spettigue exits.
That's all right. I say, what devils we women are. It's too bad of those fellows. I shall be an old woman for the rest of my life. I haven't had a drink or a smoke all day. George, here's a find. Wonder how long you'll be. Hanged if I don't chance it.
Lights a cigar with match, which he strikes on his boot.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Enter Donna Lucia with Ella.
She's smoking.
Ella comes down. He's startled, draws in a large mouthful of smoke, and hides cigar in blanket hole, holding lighted end reversed in palm of hand. Mouthful of smoke. Looks from Donna Lucia to Ella, and then straight ahead in agony, holding smoke first in opposite cheek to each one he looks at, then in both cheeks, to her eyes and almost bursting.
Auntie, did you find it chilly?
Yes, my dear. I thought I'd get a wrap of some kind.
I'll go upstairs and get you something. I know where your things are.
Are you alone?
Yes, all alone, and so sad.
Oh, dear me. What a dreadful smell of smoke.
Yes, I noticed it myself. I'll go and find out who it is.
No, don't go. I wanted to talk to you.
Yes.
About your late husband, Don Pedro.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Do you know, when I met Don Pedro, he told me he had no wife.
A wicked storyteller. But he was a cruel husband.
The Don Pedro I knew was noble, gentle, and kind.
That was his father, the old gentleman with the white moustache.
I never knew such an effrontery. Do you know, Donna Lucia, I'm surprised you don't indulge in the habit of smoking. So many Brazilian ladies do, you know.
Well, to tell you the truth, that's just what I was doing when you came in.
Cheers, a cigar.
Then, pray, don't let me interrupt you. Ah, I shouldn't have been surprised at a pipe.
Can I offer you one?
No, thanks.
Turn, but Lord Fancourt kicks his skirt out of the way in turning. Donna Lucia hands herself with the left hand. Lord Fancourt does the same with his right.
You see, not being a Brazilian lady, it might be thought strange.
Will you take a drink of any kind?
No, thanks. Oh, Donna Lucia, pardon my curiosity, but have you any children?
Few, none to speak of.
Enter Ella with a wrap.
Here's your wrap, Auntie.
Lord Fancourt puts a cigar in coffee cup on piano.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I'm going into the garden. I fancy Sir Francis has something to say to me, and it's rather chilly. Perhaps you'd better stay in.
Donna Lucia exits. Lord Fancourt steals a look at Ella about to exit and goes slowly to the window.
Auntie said we weren't to hint about her knowing she's not Auntie. I'm sure she's only doing it to oblige them. Oh, don't go, please.
I was going into the garden.
It has turned quite chilly. Auntie sent me in from the garden because of that.
Can I get you a wrap of any kind?
No, thank you. Auntie thinks I'm better here. I've been ill, you know.
Oh, but I didn't know.
Oh, I'm all right now, of course, if I take care.
Yes, you must take great care.
Auntie, I fancy, is more particular than usual this evening. For, you know, years ago, she and Sir Francis were sweethearts.
Were they?
But he went away without telling her yet he was ever and ever so fond of her. Auntie says he was shy, and he went away without knowing what she was ever and ever so fond of him. But the noblest man I ever knew was shy and, oh, so kind. He got to know how Papa had become so ill and so poor, and lost a large sum of money to him at cards, Auntie thinks, on purpose. I often wondered why they played cards, and Papa so ill too. But when I asked the doctor if it wasn't doing harm, he said, not the game that was being played. But I've got all the money, and if ever we meet, I mean to give it back.
Oh, no, you mustn't think of doing that. It would be like accusing him of some sort of cheating, you know.
But it was so much. Enough, Auntie says, to make me independent for life.
And do you think he'd take it back if he knew that?
Oh, but I should feel it in my duty.
It's too late now.
But he went away before I had time to tell him how much I loved him for his kindness to my poor father. You don't mind me telling you all this, do you? I don't know why, but I like to talk to you. I like you, and I do so long to see him again.
Exits. Lord Fancourt watches Ella go off, then goes to Ottoman down right, and punches Cushion twice, vigorously. After Cushion business, re-enter Spettigue with letter. Lucia!
Have you got the letter?
Spettigue shows the letter. Lord Fancourt tries to snatch it. Spettigue holds it out of his reach. Yes, here is the letter. But first, make my happiness complete. Say that from this blissful moment we are engaged.
We are engaged.
Lord Fancourt gets the letter.
Got it? We are engaged.
Darling!
Mr. Spettigue.
Call me Stephen.
Is this the letter, Stephen?
Yes, that is the letter, and we are betrothed.
We are betrothed, darling.
Lord Fancourt exits quickly. Enter Sir Francis and Donna Lucia. Ah! Mrs. Beverley Smythe, Sir Francis, congratulate me, congratulate me!
I knew it.
I'm the happiest man in the world. But where are the dear children? This must be a day of happiness and rejoicing for us all, for us all! Spettigue exits.
What on earth does he mean? What's all this excitement about?
Can't you guess?
No?
Didn't I tell you what would happen if we left them alone?
Eh?
Oh, don't you understand? She's accepted him.
What?
Yes. Donna Lucia de Salvatore.
You don't mean that.
I fancy he'll find he's made a mistake before long.
By George, what a fool I've been.
Why? Are you sorry?
No, but that rascal of a boy of mine made some sort of stupid suggestion that I should...
That you should offer your hand and heart to Donna Lucia de Salvatore from Brazil, where the nuts come from?
When I think of what a fool I was, might have been, should have been...
Then you don't envy him.
Envy him?
But think of her millions.
Ah, Lucy, when I saw your face...
You didn't recognize it.
No, but when I did... But I told you all that in the garden just now, and you'll be content for a while with a cottage and your old sweetheart.
And you? You would take me, a penniless widow?
Nothing would make me happier.
Frank.
Lucy. Why? What are you smiling at?
Oh, I was only thinking
Of what?
of Donna Lucia da Salvatore.
Enter Ella.
Well, she's a quaint little figure, I must own.
Auntie, did you find the chili?
I didn't notice, my love.
Auntie, how pretty you look tonight. Sir Francis!
Ella kisses Donna Lucia and sits on the ottoman. Sir Francis comes down right and sits on a chair below. Come along, my dear children! Come along! Enter Spettigue, followed by Kitty and Amy, Jack and Charley. Brassett enters the door carrying a salver. Charley up centre and Jack left of him. Kitty, you sit there. Amy, there. I have something to tell you. Something you will all be very pleased to hear. Where is Donna Lucia? No one answers. Then Brassett steps forward.
Donna Lucia's gone to her room, I fancy.
Perhaps it's just as well. Now, before she returns, I have a little secret to tell you.
Really?
I am sure you will pardon me if I ask your attention for a few moments.
Good gracious, Jack, what's he going to say?
How do I know till he's said it?
Situated as I am, a lonely widower, a mateless uncle, surrounded with grave responsibilities, my ward, Kitty, my niece, Amy, a good fairy has, I may say, tripped in among us, bringing with her unexpected light and joy.
What does he mean?
Shut up!
Under her influence, I have consented to the engagement of my niece to a gentleman in whose honour and probity I have the fullest confidence, Mr. Charles Wykham.
Oh, Charley, how sweet of your dear aunt.
Furthermore, charmed by irresistible spells, I have consented to the union of my ward with John, only son of my friend Sir Francis Chesney. Sir Francis, what will you say to a third engagement?
A third?
Jeez.
What?
What?
Good. Very. Nay, let me add without further metaphor. One whose name is honoured in the southwestern hemisphere as that of Rothschild is in Europe, has consented to become Mrs. Stephen Spettigue. I allude to our dear friend, Donna Lucia Dalvadores. Brassett, holding empty tray behind his back, knocks it against the table, and it falls with a loud clatter onto the floor. General movement of surprise as everyone starts. Charley joins Jack, leaving Brassett in full view. What is that?
Beg pardon, sir. The tray, sir.
Be more careful, Brassett.
Uncle!
Be more careful. Nothing could please me more than...
Mr. Spettigue, I can listen to this ghastly farrago no longer.
Mr. Wykham, sir. What do you mean?
I say, sir, and I don't care what the result may be, I can listen to this ghastly
Presume, sir, in espousing my niece?
I can't. I won't espouse her. Under these false and lying pretences. That woman...
Do you allude in such a manner to...
I say that woman...
Beg of you to speak with more respect of your aunt.
She is not my aunt!
Donna Lucia rises, followed by Ella, and goes to the centre, watching the following scene from there. Sir Francis goes around the back of the ottoman to the top end of the piano, and Brassett goes to the door. Not your aunt! What do you mean?
I love Amy far too sincerely to...
Never mind that, sir. Explain your words.
Mr. Spettigue, will you allow me to say that the blame is mine and let me explain?
I am addressing this person. Answer me, sir. Explain your words.
I must tell his lordship of this.
Exits.
At the last moment this morning, my aunt, on whose account we had invited Miss Verdon and Miss Spettigue, telegraphed to say she couldn't come. The ladies arrived, and we...
And I, sir, prevailed upon another person to... well...
To impersonate her. I've been treacherously, infamously deceived.
That was not our intention, sir.
Don't lie to me, sir.
I beg your pardon, sir. You forget you were not expected.
A frump like that, with a wig?
Well, you can't blame her for that.
Joins Kitty behind sofa. Turn that woman out of my house! Enter Lord Fancourt in evening dress. General movement of...
I say, may I come in?
Turn that woman out of... Who are you, sir?
I'm Charley's aunt from Brazil, where the nuts come from.
Fancourt, Babberley, you duffer!
Fancourt, Babberley, I beg your pardon.
Auntie! And I told him everything.
What does this mean, sir?
It means we've all done very wrong and we're all extremely sorry. And to tender you our humblest apologies. My apologies, I should say, for if I hadn't offered the temptation, the whole thing would never have occurred.
And if Mr. Spettigue will allow us to add our apologies...
And say we have no words to express our contrition.
It's infamous! Infamous! But where is the document obtained for me under these fraudulent pretenses?
Oh, the letter. I have the letter.
Produces it from inside breast pocket.
It's mine. Mine.
Give it to me. Seeing Kitty's anxiety. Miss Verdon? Sir, I demand it. Lord Fancourt holds up the letter.
Allow me. I shall dispute it. Under her father's will, I shall dispute it. This letter is addressed and has been delivered to Donna Lucia Dalvadores.
But she, I mean he, is not Donna Lucia Alvadores.
No, but I am.
You!
You?
Lucy.
Donna Lucia joins Sir Francis by the door.
My aunt.
You will pardon me if I retire. As for you, sir, I shall inquire from the authorities your college in the morning. Spettigue opens doors, about to exit. Stops, takes out his buttonhole, and throws it. And then
Charlie, can you help me up for breach of promise?
Charlie. Mr. Wykham, I mean, how dare you? I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive any of you for treating Uncle Stephen like that.
Be patient with us, my dear. Your uncle shall have the most profound repatriation my influence can make. For my own part, I only shared in the deception when I found another lady established in my place.
Ah, no wonder she knew all about my late husband.
Lucia hands Amy over to Charlie. They all talk together.
Well, I'm as sorry as anyone, but I'd trust Jack with my life.
Indeed? Then he must wait till I'm his mother.
Mother?
Yes, Donna Lucia. In deceiving me as much as anybody has. However, done me the honour to recollect an old affection, and has promised to assume that authority, so look out, Jack.
Lord Fancourt, Babberley, I'm afraid you have gained one confidence that nothing could excuse.
I know, and I reproach myself beyond expression, but I wouldn't part with the memory of that confidence to save my life. And if Miss Delahaye would allow me to say so, I'm willing to atone for it, with a lifelong devotion.
She looks at Ella and holds out her left hand to her. Ella, smiling, puts hers in Donna Lucia's.
Auntie!
Donna Lucia hands her across to Lord Fancourt. Lord Fancourt takes Ella's hand and tucks it in his arm, and as they turn to go up, Lord Fancourt kicks the front of Charlie's leg with his instep as he passes. Charlie limps round behind Ottoman to the right of Amy.
Now, where's my son?
Yeah, Mama.
I shall have to talk to you very seriously before I give you this.
Showing you the letter.
Darling, I'll never forgive you if you deceive that sweet girl again. And as for you, sir.
Oh no, never again. I give you my word. I'll give you the clothes if you like. I'm done with them. Miss Delahaye has consented to think me over as a husband. In future, I resign to Sir Francis Chesney all claims to Charlie's aunt.
Curtain falls, end of Act 3, and end of the play.